Today I'm going to be sharing my quickest, neatest method for making your new favorite scrunchie. Step 1 is to cut out your fabric. The one I love is a 4.5-inch wide by 30-inch long rectangle. Step 2 is to join your short ends together to create a loop of fabric. You're going to fold your fabric together, right sides together with the short ends lined up, and you're going to stitch along there. As a guide, you want to use your sewing machine foot. So if you place the fabric so that your raw edge is against the right edge of your sewing machine foot, you're just going to stitch with that length from beginning to end, making sure to back stitch both at the beginning and the end. Step 3 is to sew the long edges together using the burrito method. You're going to lay your loop of fabric out with right sides together just like you sewed it, with the seam facing up, and then you want to start rolling just the top layer of fabric from one raw edge to the other as tightly as you can. You then fold your other layer of fabric around that, making sure that the fabric you've rolled up is as far away from the raw edge as possible. So you're going to be sewing along this long raw edge, and you can see at either end it definitely has a bit of a burrito look at this point. So just like before, you want to place your fabric with the raw edge against the edge of your sewing machine foot as a guide of how wide the stitch should be. You want to make sure that the fabric is definitely to the left of your presser foot. So you can have a little feel with your fingers. You might even want to just open it up and double check. And if at any point you feel like it is creeping over, you can just stuff it back into the burrito. You want to make sure that you do a back stitch at the beginning, and you're just going to be sewing along the length that you've initially folded over. You might want to just periodically check with your fingers to make sure that nothing is creeping under the presser foot that you folded from before. You just want to be stitching these two layers of fabric together. Once you've gotten as far as you can go, you want to make sure that your needle is in the down position, and then you're going to be putting your finger inside the tube and start pulling fabric through towards you. From the back, it's turning the back of the tube inside itself and then feeding it back around. And this is where the magic part of the burrito method happens. You're going to poke your fingers inside that little hole to grab some of the fabric that's on the inside and pull it out. And as you pull all of that through, you're going to be revealing the outside of a finished scrunchie. Step 4 is to insert your elastic. Once you have threaded your elastic through, this is the best time to tie a temporary knot in there and try the scrunchie on. See how it feels on your wrist, see how it feels in your hair. Step 5 is to sew your scrunchie closed. Now, by all means, you can use a sewing machine to just press that open end together and do a stitch along the top. I prefer to do a hand stitch closure. I know a lot of people don't love hand sewing, but it's such a tiny area, and I feel like it makes such a great finish.